Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist, and this is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's going on with the collective energy, the energy that each and every one of us, each and every one of you are feeling, and how to make the most of it, how you can use this energy to have the best week possible based on what's going on in the cosmos, based on what is happening collectively here in this space. So we're going to talk all about that and get you all set, not only just for this week today, but we're also going to get you all set for navigating this Mercury retrograde that we have. I am filming this on the 15th. And Mercury retrograde starts on July 17th. So that is going to be happening this week. We might as well be in Mercury retrograde already because we've been in that pre-shadow. And so you're probably already feeling that. So we're going to talk all about that. Basically, how do we get through this? How do we use this energy? How do we navigate this in the best ways possible? If you don't know what Mercury retrograde is, this is when Mercury appears to be moving backwards in the sky. And it is a time that can be a little bit more challenging. It's a 3-week period of time when Mercury is in retrograde. This happens about 4 times a year. And there are challenges that come up with that. So maybe that's where we start. Hi, Lynette. Nice to see you here. So maybe we start with the challenges that can come up because I want you to have a heads up. This is the planet of technology and communication and information. And so you might find that there are challenges related to those things. You might find that communication is more difficult during Mercury retrograde. It might be harder for you to communicate. It might be harder for you to put into words the things that you want to say, or you can have hiccups in regard to communication in some way. So I always say with Mercury retrograde, just be a little bit more mindful about how you say things, what you say, be a little bit more aware of the things that you are trying to communicate because there's a lot of room for miscommunication during this. I also, because there tends to be a lot of delays and issues that come up and challenges that can come up during this time, I always say leave yourself a little extra time during Mercury retrograde. I always plan on leaving 10 minutes earlier than I typically would when we're in Mercury retrograde because number one, it helps me to make sure that I'm not stressed out trying to rush out the door when or if something goes wrong, but also just it helps to ease any struggle that I might experience around that. So just plan on that. Expect the unexpected. Know that things will come up for you and just leave that extra time so that you're not feeling that pressure to be somewhere on time while you're trying to deal with a situation. Now, I also want to remind you that this is a time period where we reflect, that we go within. We do all the things that start with right? Review, reflect, revisit, revise, all of these things we do during a Mercury retrograde. And so you might notice that the energy slows down a little bit, that you feel a little bit more slowed down. So keep that in mind today. If you're watching this today on the 15th and the 16th, if you have some stuff to do and you still are feeling energized, ride the wave of that and get stuff done in advance. Because once we get into retrograde, you might feel a little bit more slowed down, a little bit more tired, that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind as we do that. This is a time for us to reflect on things. And so you might catch yourself doing that. You might be looking back into the past to process things. And what I got when I connected with this energy is that on the other side of this 3-week period, you are going to see some things differently than you did before you went into that. And we are going to be shown the things that we need to see. We are going to be shown where we need to look at things from a different perspective. You might be changing your mind about something and saying, you know what, that wasn't the direction that I wanted to go in, and now I need to redirect. And now I want to go in this direction. Or you might be just taking another look at something and deciding that you want to approach that differently. I'm curious to see what comes up at the end of this reading. We do the tarot reading portion of this. Do you see I'm already having trouble speaking? That always gets harder during Mercury retrograde. So I'm already feeling that energy, but I lost my train of thought. So I won't be surprised if we see that Four of Cups coming in, because I kind of feel Four of Cups energy where it's like maybe we're revisiting an opportunity that we thought maybe we would have before, but it didn't move forward for some reason, or something is now starting to move forward a little bit, or we're taking a look back and we're saying, you know what, maybe that was something that I wanted to explore. I'm kind of getting that energy here with this. I think, though, this is going to be a Mercury retrograde to remember. Number one, because I think that we're going to see some things very differently on the other side of this, and that these things that we're seeing differently, it's going to be a life-changing shift. I think that there are a lot of breakthroughs that are happening during this Mercury retrograde, and some of them you may not like. There might be situations that fall apart, that crumble, things that come up that you have to deal with, because Mercury retrograde has this way of bringing our stuff to the surface. So know that, but know that also this is all about you getting to the other side, having done some of this work. And if you've been doing your work during the other retrogrades before, it maybe won't be as bad for you, or you might experience it as a breakthrough rather than feeling like you're having a breakdown. Sometimes we can feel like we're having a breakdown during these retrogrades. They can be more challenging. And I think there are a lot of life-changing breakthroughs that are happening. And I also, as much as this can slow down the energy, I feel like things are going to still be popping off. I feel like there's going to be blessings coming in, opportunities coming in, and we just have to intuitively feel if they align for us and if we should move forward with them during the retrograde. Or sometimes it's helpful to wait to initiate something new until you're on the other side of the Mercury retrograde. But sometimes I think in this energy, I just kind of feel like some things are going to be happening and we're just making a decision to move forward with things. So it does feel a little different with that this time around. I also got a really clear message that there are going to be opportunities for us to shine in some way, to stand out, to be seen, to be celebrated, to be appreciated. And your job with that is simply to let yourself shine and to allow that to happen, because sometimes we can feel uncomfortable with that. Sometimes we can feel like we want to go back into hiding because we're not used to being seen or having the eyes on us. There are great opportunities here for those of you who are wanting to build your platform in some way, to connect with people, to reach people in a bigger way, maybe on like a YouTube channel or on your social media, or just at work being recognized for things. But I do get this shine energy. I also, when I was connecting with the messages for this week, heard watch how you speak to yourself. So remember, Mercury is about communication. And so while I think there's a lot of possibility that we could be assholes to each other, I want you to be extra mindful about not being an asshole to yourself. That's going to be key here in this energy, and I think really important in terms of how you're experiencing this retrograde, because if you are entertaining a lot of the stuff that just is not very kind to yourself, that is not going to support your energy through this. So be mindful about that. I think there's a lot of really powerful manifestation energy as well. So we want to be mindful about the thoughts that we're entertaining and the things that we are allowing to run through our mind, because we are creating from those things. We're going to be retreating a little bit in some ways and contemplating on some things. You're going to feel that pull to do that, to spend that time in your own energy. Make sure you carve out some time for that at some point during this retrograde, probably this week. And I think part of what we will be reflecting on, speaking of shining, is how can I be more of a light in this world? How can I bring more light, more positivity into people's lives? And how can I also get comfortable with people seeing my light, with people seeing what I bring to the table? I think that there's going to be a lot of second looks this week. So meaning that people who didn't see us before maybe will see us now. People, opportunities that passed us by before, coming back around and seeing us, valuing us, being ready to move forward with us here in this energy. So it's all part of that taking another look kind of energy that I'm feeling with that Four of Cups. I also think that it's important, as much as there's a lot of magic that's happening, a lot of manifestations that are going to be happening this week, what I would say to you is don't worry if your progress slows down. I don't think it's going to be a significant slowdown, but you might feel that a little bit, and it might look different from what you've been used to because the energy has been moving forward pretty quickly. So be mindful about that and know that that's just retrograde. You don't have to worry about that. But it's going to be very slow and steady energy, but with some major breakthroughs, life-changing breakthroughs that are happening all throughout that. And so I would love to hear from you guys. Is that already happening for you? What breakthroughs are you hoping for? Let me know below. I've been in my membership. We've been working on nervous system regulation. I'm hearing a lot of breakthroughs that are happening for people. I think because in part, they've learned how to regulate their energy field. And so if you're interested in that, we're still doing that. We're wrapping up the challenge, but that is a challenge that is available to you anytime. You get to do it in your own time. Some of you are very busy. You don't have time to come in for appointments with me or even to schedule something virtually with me because you're just really busy. And this is an opportunity to do that work in your own way, in your own timing and all of that. And we're going to be doing a money manifestation challenge starting in the month of August. So you're going to want to get into my membership, claritybychristy.com. I've got all of the links below. Check it out and join us so that you can take advantage of these challenges that I'm doing. They're so much fun. In fact, I love the nervous system one so much that I feel called to do another one pretty quickly because I love the idea of having a daily tool to focus on, because what we know about our focus is what we focus on is what we create. And so when we're focusing on nervous system regulation, we're creating that. When we're focusing on becoming magnetic to money, we're creating that. And so we're going to be putting energy into that and doing some work around all of that. I'm really excited about that. So jump in and join us. Check out all of the other stuff that I have up in the membership. I also do a monthly reading similar to this, but I give you a heads up on everything to expect for the month. Hi, Ange. Nice to see you on here. Ange was just in town. She lives pretty far away, so it was nice. I got to see her for just a couple of hours, but it was really nice to see her. So yeah, so check that out. I'm just looking at my notes to make sure that I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Yeah, let yourself shine. I feel as though it's going to be hard to speak during Mercury retrograde, but also I feel as though it truly will be a Mercury retrograde to remember, because this is it's life-changing stuff. I just feel like change coming in, changing winds, just bringing us where we need to be. And so it's going to be really powerful. And so even if it feels like a struggle, know that it's carrying you where you need to go. Okay, let's look at the cards. I've already pre-shuffled the deck. I've already set my intentions, and now we just have to pull them. I will pull them and then I will cover them. Oh, not surprised to see this. First card out of the deck, the Empress. Oh, Ange just got pulled into her driveway. I'm glad you're home safe. The Nine of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. The Ace of Swords. I was saying last week that is breakthrough energy. The Two of Cups. Maria is saying, interesting that my message is what you felt pulled to do. You know what, though? you guys feel this energy too. That's why none of this is surprising to you. This is just, I'm just helping you to understand what it is that you're feeling, but you're feeling this too. You're tapping into the collective. And the Sun card. Wow. This is truly going to be a Mercury retrograde to remember. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, the Empress. Yeah, I think we've already done a lot of work and we're showing up as the best version of ourselves. And this is helping us to move forward in our lives as the best version of ourselves. We've invested a lot in ourselves. We've done a lot of work. And I think now this is just about letting ourselves be magnetic to the things that we want to create. And so again, don't worry if there's a little bit of a slowdown with this energy. Know that you are magnetic and that you can call to you the things that you want to call to you. So focus on thinking about the things that you do want. Focus on positive thoughts, feeling excited. Focus on making this a Mercury retrograde to remember. I want you to see this as like miracles are happening for me through this Mercury retrograde. Maybe you even put that in comments. This is a Mercury retrograde of miracles for me. This is a Mercury retrograde of miracles for me. I just feel like we're calling in all of the things and we are sitting pretty in flow because we have learned so many things. Are there going to be things that come up that throw you off? Sure. But this just says to me, we've got this. And not only do we have this, but blessings are going to be showing up because of the work that we have put in the past, because of the ways that we've invested in ourselves and our work, the things that we're creating, all of that. So this feels like return on our investment. This also feels like knowing your worth and your value. So that may come up during this retrograde where it's like, how am I allowing people to treat me? What am I allowing people to get away with? You might have issues that come up with that if there need to be some boundaries set or some changes that need to be made. But also, can we hold this energy of, I am a high value woman, or I am a high value man and I bring a lot to the table. Can you hold that energy? Because that is what you're going to create from. And that is going to help you to have a better experience this week. The Nine of Swords in reverse. Don't be an asshole to yourself. Don't speak to yourself in a way that you would never allow someone to speak to somebody else that you love. I also get the sense that some of this is like, I don't know, I get this like weight off your shoulders kind of energy where maybe something inconvenient happens, but it's a weight off your shoulders. It's almost like, oh, I kind of knew that wasn't going to work out, or I knew that was going to fall apart, or I knew that that wasn't quite right for me and it didn't come together. And there's almost like something doesn't work out and you're relieved by it. That's not for everybody, but that's for some of you. And there's also this message of just being mindful about what we're focusing our thoughts on, letting that go, being in a focus of magnetism and abundance rather than a place of lack and worry, because there is a lot of abundance. I mean, this is one of the most abundant card that we have in the deck. And the second most abundant, or one of the most abundant cards, is the Queen of Pentacles as well. So I just think that this is a reward for the things that we've been working on. I think we're going to be learning lessons quickly as they come up during this retrograde, and you're going to see pretty quick rewards for that. Things manifesting, things happening, concrete evidence that life is changing, that your life is changing, that this truly is a Mercury retrograde to remember. This may also be us taking a look at what's most important to us. What do we value and what do we actually want? And maybe making some adjustments to that or communicating about that so that we can ensure that that is what we have and what we allow in our lives. Ace of Swords, I was telling you last week, this is my breakthrough card. I was talking about breakthroughs, and this was the first card in the weekly reading last week. So why do I look so orange? I don't know why this lighting changes. It weirds me out. Okay, so Ace of Swords, breakthroughs, seeing things clearly. So as much as it can be kind of cloudy during Mercury retrograde, you're either going to feel more clear this time around, or this is leading you to a major change. Again, you're going to see things differently by the time this 3 weeks is over, very differently. And so this feels really powerful. It's like maybe some things that you've been trying to understand or see differently or find clarity on that you just haven't quite connected with. I think that this will give you the opportunity to do that. But I also think that this is like an idea that comes in and you're just like, why did I not think of that before? That is so obvious. And that is, you're going to feel the pull to it. You're going to feel the significance of it. You're going to feel like you want to take action on something. 2 of Cups. A beautiful soul connection. Maybe with this being a retrograde, this might be a revisiting a connection that has already been established in some way. Now, this doesn't have to be love. This can be reconnecting with somebody or connecting with somebody that you feel like you've known before, that you started business with, or that you work together with, or that those soulmate clients that you're working for, or that soulmate friendship that you're looking for, or even the opportunity that you feel like has been missing from your life that you're waiting on, that you know takes everything to the next level. All of this feels like going to the next level. And the last card that we have here, speaking of going to the next level, is the Sun. Happiest card in the deck. You have nothing to worry about. This Mercury retrograde will not get us down. We've got this. We can, I don't know, I can't help but feel excited about it. I know I sound like a weirdo because it tends to be something that we dread, but why not be excited about it? I think it's all about what you make it and all about how you embrace it. So why not be excited? And I just feel like there's such good stuff that's coming through this retrograde. And this Sun card really, just look at the way the sun is actually glowing on the card because of my lights. That's a message, right? Shine your light. And so this is about shining our light, but this is also about recognizing where we're on the right path, where we're not on the right path so that we can get on the right path. This is about feeling happiness and joy and excitement. And I feel like this is ushering us into Leo season because we will be shifting into Leo season soon. And just really embracing it. I always feel like Leo season is so powerful and such a level up. And this feels like a build up into that and that we're moving into that. So hi, Nicholas. Nice to see you here. So keep moving and stay in your light and keep coming back to your light as often as you can, and let yourself get comfortable with being seen and celebrated, and expect the unexpected, because I do think that there will be surprises, but this feels like really good surprises. And I'm excited for all of this. So let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Let me know what breakthroughs you're hoping for. Let me know if this is going to be a Mercury retrograde of miracles for you. Let me know. If you would like to jump into our Magnetize Your Money Challenge that we're going to be starting in August, make sure you jump in the membership. It's only $9.99 a month or $99 for the whole year for right now. I am going to be raising the price soon because I've been adding programs into that and it's just increasing in value. There's also 4 years worth of content in there. So it's all about spiritual and personal growth. We would love to have you in there. We have a community. And on Thursday, we have our live call where I pull cards for you, where I answer the questions. We talk about the things that you want to talk about. That's coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. So we would love to have you join us, whether you're in the membership now already or if you're new to that. So jump in, check it out, claritybychristy.com. Look for the membership tab and you can check all of that out. I've got the links down below too. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I love you all. I am wishing you a magical Mercury retrograde. This is a good video to come back to over the course of the next 3 weeks. Even though this is a weekly reading, it's a good one to come back to over the course of the next 3 weeks so you can be reminded of these messages. I will see you next week with another video. And for those of you who are in my membership, I will see you for the Soul Circle on Thursday. All right, take care, guys. Bye.